Hello everybody, warm welcome back. YAJE here. Super excited to share yet another gardening video with you, and today I will share with you how to safely transition your UGU, that is the fluted pumpkin, from being indoor plants to being outdoor plants. This is super important. If you do not do this process the right way, you are going to lose your UGU plants. I say this from experience, and we all know how precious these are out here in the diaspora abroad, outside of Africa. It is not easy to get the seeds, it is not easy to get the plants, and it is not easy to grow the plants. There's a lot of things that we need to do kind of differently, and if you don't do these things the right way, I'm telling you, you are going to damage your UGU. I am here learning my lessons and making sure I pass everything I learn to you. This channel is about growing some of these culturally important African vegetables outside of Africa, out here in the diaspora. And because our weather is different, our growing season is different, we have to do things a little differently. What I did with all of these UGU that you see here, I started the seeds indoors. First, because I received the seeds when it was still very cold. That means you cannot just plant them outside because it will not germinate. And even after it germinates, if it's still cold outside, you just cannot bring your young plants outside, because if the temperature drops below freezing, they are going to die. So we have to kind of grow the plants indoors for a little bit, and then when it's spring, when it's warm enough, we bring our plants outside. If you do like what I did before this, I just like, ooh, there's sunlight outside. I brought all of my plants and I put them directly under the sun, and I left them there for the entire day. Mistake. Big mistake. Do not do that. If you take your UGU plants for the very first time, just bring them outdoors, leave them out in the sun for an entire day. You are going to burn your leaves. You're going to burn the UGU leaves. It's going to experience sunburn just like the human skin. Like if you're indoors the entire time and then you come and just expose yourself to the sun, you're going to get scalded. You're going to get scorched by that sun. Same thing for plants. So this process has to be done slowly, and that's what I want to explain to you in today's video. The plants that you see here, the bigger plants, they've already been hardened off. That is the big scientific name for it. That process is called hardening off, and these are now ready to be planted directly in the garden. So this is what I did. I started my UGU seeds indoors on a heating mat, and because I had so many of them, I used a space heater as well. I could not put everything on a heating mat. The ones that I put on a heating mat germinated faster. The one that did not get like heating mat treatment, these are the ones, right? So I would have them indoors on that heating mat. Once it germinates, then what I do is take it outside of that room immediately, and then I put it in the kitchen, like on my windowsill. The windowsill receives some sunlight, but it's not the same thing as outdoors, because the UV rays from that sunlight has been filtered indoors. Out here, you're getting everything. The intensity is higher, the UV radiation is much higher, plus you get wind that you don't get indoors, and then the temperature is not quite the same. So you have to again do that process gradually. So what I did was bring the plants outdoors on the first day just for about 30 minutes to 1 hour, and I put them like right here where it is shaded. There's sunlight over there, direct sunlight, but here is kind of shaded. This is day one. I took them outside like, you know, at 30 minutes, maybe 1 hour. And then the next day, I brought them out again. I doubled the time. So it went from 30 minutes to 1 hour to about, 2 hours, something like that. And then the next day, I brought them out for like 4 hours. So I was kind of doubling the time and then gradually exposing them to direct sunlight. I did that until I left them out for an entire day. The entire process took me 7 days, I want to say 7 to 8 days. But how long it takes for you is going to depend on where you are, where your zone, your hardiness zone, like what the temperatures are. Because if the temperature starts to drop below 50 degrees, move your plants back inside. Okay, so when it will get very cold, I will just take my plants outside. I will not leave them outside. This was the first UGU that germinated. It has not seen the outdoors. And so if I just take it and put it in the garden as is, it might not survive, because the temperature in here indoors is different from the temperature outdoors. The amount of sunlight it is getting from this window is different from the amount of sunlight, both in the intensity of the sunlight and the fact that in here the UV rays it is receiving is very reduced. I have my UGU outdoors now. As you can see, it is sitting in the shade. This is the first day I am introducing my plants to the elements. That is UV rays, sunlight, and then some wind. So I need to be very gentle with them. That is why it is sitting in a shaded area. I'm going to leave it out here for today for only half an hour. I'm not taking any chances. So it's sitting in the shade for 30 minutes and then I'll take them back indoors. Tomorrow, I will bring them out again for 1 hour and see how they do. And then I keep increasing the time until I can leave them outdoors completely, when they have completely like hardened off. You can see the leaf is very thin. That's because it has not developed thick skin, okay? And so it's very tender since it's been growing indoors. As we harden it off, make it get used to the harsh conditions outside, the leaves are going to thicken. It's day 2 of hardening off my fluted pumpkins. Today I brought them right under the sun, but it's in the evening. It's around 5 p.m. in the evening, March the 24th. I'm gonna leave them out here today for 1 hour, take them back indoors, and then tomorrow I will bring them out for 2 hours. It's March the 25th, 2022, and these are my UGU starts. Well, I have other things in here as well. I have peppers. I'm going to take them outdoors in the backyard for the hardening process. It's day 3, and today I intend to leave them out for 2 hours, maybe about 1 hour in a shaded area and another 30 minutes to 1 hour in the sun, and then I'll bring them back indoors. It's been a total of 2 hours, and I'm going to take the UGU plants back inside. Tomorrow we are going to try leaving them out for 4 hours as we continue the hardening of process. It's day 6 of the hardening process. I've been leaving the fluted pumpkin outdoors now. It's looking good, as you can see. It's looking very good, but this area is semi-shaded. It's not completely exposed to the sun, but at this point I think my UGU is safe to go in the garden, directly in the garden, in ground. It is fully hardened off.